Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Innovation Impact Makers, where we meet people quietly making an impact in the world of innovation. Most of us are familiar with the concept that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. When this is applied to a setting designed to innovate and create solutions for a large number of people, that idea takes even more meaning. My guest today is doing exactly that. Niv Amir is the CEO of the Together movement, which is working on changing corporate-driven economies into community-driven economies. And the Together movement has a couple of key initiatives it's working on right now. Niv, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, great to be here. Thank you, Naftali.
Great to have you. So before we go into the initiatives you're working on, please tell us how Together movement started, what it's all about, and the motivation behind starting it.
Yeah, so for me, I think it started in a very young age. Around 5 years old, I started to ask a lot of questions about this world, born in Israel, a country full of fights and enemies. And I look at the world and I was such an happy kid and I say, what's going on?
Everyone gets along here just fine.
I know, everyone, we should find, why there is so many people that want to kill us, that's a kid in Israel. That's what they teach you, at like 5-year-old or something like that. Why does everyone are so in rush and there is so much sickness and separation? I look at it from a very young age. I say, what's going on? Something is very strange. In the army, I had a traumatic event, but he taught me a lot. Over there, I saw exactly how this divide and conquer work. And over there at the age of 21 as well, kind of made my vow that one day I will open a new type of army, I call it. So army that connect people, that bring people together, that creating goodness, because I believe in the power of the together, of people coming together and creating magic. And I born in a kibbutz as well. So I saw how when people working together, there is lots of security and lots of great things that are happening. So that was my motivation over there in the army. And I didn't know how it will happen. But long story short, I go to Australia for 15 years and come back by mistake to Israel just before COVID started. And then the Together movement was born pretty much 6.5 years ago today.
What exactly is the Together movement?
Yeah, so Together movement is saying that, if there is so many things, great things that are happening, initiative that are happening, but if each one of them doing it by itself, so there is a little change here and a little change here and a little, it's never like, as you mentioned, stay in the beginning, to create an impact on a global level, on a massive scale. You need to bring those initiatives together, because if each one of us will do it separately, then there is a small change in each area. And so that's what the Together movement is doing, is connecting a lot of projects. I call it social, let's call it social project, that working for the people. And the way we did it, we're operating on 2 fields pretty much. One of them is helping people. We got over 120, probably from the best mentor and people here in Israel that working in the personal development and well-being. They join the Together movement, and we do a lot of conferences, very big conferences, thousands of people, conferences, and we're helping people to direct this projector from outside to inside. So we help many people, finding what their gift is, what they want to bring to the world, have better relationship with money, health, anyone in his own thing. Because we believe, first of all, that's the thing that we need to change, to help people to understand that the power is within. And the second part of us is we building projects, social projects that bring the power back to the people. So instead of those pyramids of few investors or few people running a business and controlling everything, we build the project like that. And I will give an example soon for a project like that, where we bring projects that bringing back the power to the people, bring transparency. And because we got huge community and a lot of community leaders that join the Together movement, we really see the results, because the power to reach people and create those projects is, we got this power with us.
I think before we go into how you create initiatives, maybe we should talk about the initiatives you have and what they are. When we first met, you mentioned that you have the supermarket initiative, and you mentioned something about AI and money. Please tell us more about those. And then we want to understand, how does the project get into the Together movement? But we have to understand what the projects are already before we go there.
Exactly. And then the supermarket chain, it's a great example. We call it fair, which is fair. In Israel, we use this word a lot. It's not fair, זה לא fair, בעברית. And so we call it fair, and it's a supermarket with joined with the people pretty much the people becoming the shareholders and the buyers in those supermarkets. We say in the beginning, buy in the supermarket, buy the supermarket. And why? Why we do it, because Israel is 52% more than all of the OECD countries in food at the moment. Everyone traveling, 52% more expensive at the moment than Europe, United States, all the Western countries.
So
it's
that,
a very
sorry, but that begs the question, 52% higher. Not everything is in the supermarket's control. It's kind of like there's a whole machine operating in the background, which is causing all these prices to go up. How is FAIR going to overcome those limitations?
So in Israel, it's controlled by about 20 suppliers in Israel, big one, controlling 80% of the market. So there is no competition, pretty much. And what we are doing, we're bringing the model of, I'm sure many listeners will know, Aldi, Lidl, very big chains around the world, that it's called hard discount model. And it's not existing in Israel. It's a very successful model all around the world. And it's about getting smaller shops, and buying only direct from merchant, from suppliers, and very effective operation, and not buying through the big guys here that, lifting the prices all the time. So we've got partnerships with very big European suppliers that helping us and providing us with their merchandise. And pretty much the second part to it is that we're doing it via the people. What I mean, as opposed to regular business that go and raise money from investors, we go out for a crowdfunding campaign. And we say, this is just, let's raise 400,000 shekel just to start and to get the people and to see if the people are with us. And that was booming. We crossed the 400,000 10 days before the end. We reached to 620,000 from more than 5,200 people join us, and bought from 18 shekels to 10,000 shekels. They bought pretty much vouchers for the supermarket, but more than that, they vow and they say, we are with you. Now, we are with you and we are partners to this journey. And now we are about to get into the second stage, and via a platform called Fundit that allow to raise more than 35, investors, we're going out and we're selling the shares to the public pretty much. So the public will become the shareholders. Plus, we got investors as well, but it's a mix of a public and the investors, and that's very smart way, I think, to build businesses in the time we're living in. Because in the end of the day, people say, "So why you're not going to be as well?" Everyone Carrefour got into Israel and say that's going to be the cheapest, and they didn't. And many people promise it. And we say, because our investors are also our buyers, and that's what we're leading in the Together movement. I call it the revolution of moving from investor-based economy to the user-based economy. And I think that's something that needs to happen in our world. And we lead it here in Israel in project like that. And what we guarantee is 35% less than Rami Levy, which is the cheapest in Israel at the moment. And yeah, our first 2 stores will open in the beginning of the year. And very exciting project. We got to every TV channel. We got this campaign over the line so fast, we didn't spend 1 shekel. Okay, and that shows the power, of people coming together. People was our advocate. They were just sharing it everywhere because everyone wants this revolution to happen already. Because anyone getting into the supermarket and going out with the bags and look at it and say, what the hell just happened here, And so that's one of our most exciting projects at the moment.
Which locations are you going to be starting up in Israel?
We didn't close completely, but it's look like in the Modi'in, Ramle, this area, Lod, to start with, because that's where our distribution center will be. And then we go all around the country. And the idea is inside smaller shops, but inside the neighborhoods. So you don't need to drive a lot and stand in the traffic. You just bring back the experience into the neighborhood.
So tell us more about your second initiative, which is about people's money and using AI. It's also something very important.
Yeah, the second one called FUN, which is Financial Uplifting Network. And it's going to the biggest and the hardest pain of people, money, And we laugh, as our slogan is, make money fun again. a bit of a Donald Trump style, but how painful is money, and how lonely people feeling, with money, working against the banks and working against the systems at the moment, and each one sit behind his computer and thinking he's by himself with it. A lot of it, in the inspiration I take from the kibbutz, even though it was a lot of terrible stuff as well. But the idea of people working together and bringing and sharing the power of the together is a lot of the inspiration is from there. So fun is pretty much a big community, which is the engine is a very powerful bot that is a proactive bot and is helping you to save money, to change plans. There is a lot of application today that you connect your bank account and everything, and it's tell you information about it. And then you're stuck with an Excel and you need now to do all the actions. And by the statistics we got, about 80% of the people don't do it. They do the first stage, they learn where the financial and where the money go, but then the operation of doing all of the changes and shifting and calling and canceling things, and it just not happen. First, because we are so busy in our life here in Israel, and second, because they get overwhelmed. And so our bot is actually taking them end by end and actually, look at it, I find for you a better phone plan. Do you want me to switch it for you? And he's actually doing it. Look at it, I find that you pay double. You want me to turn it off? And the AI is going and keep showing you opportunities to save money, but also doing the action for you. And that's the base one. But then we got people can share what they are doing and sell it inside an internal coin that we got. So exchange things between them and connect and make all kind of, people can offer what they're looking for and find in the community people to work with. We believe that when you work together, there is a myth, in the business world that don't do it together, be careful, keep it small, don't tell to too many people. We believe that the power of sharing and working with people together is the biggest change that our world needs at the moment. And because we are a big community as well, of course, we're going to bring a lot of discounts and buying power together. Let's say 100 people in the community want a car. We go and we get 30% off. So there is lots of organizations that do that already. But this will be another part of what we are building in Fun. And this network is all about helping you grow financially. So some people will need that we call it the survival mode, to get out of debt or things like that, and we help them in the process. And some people want it to grow, and to make any good investments and to know where to put their monies and to get the power of the community of people sharing what they are doing in a beautiful environment that we design with very smart technology people. And we got a very powerful lady that she's a master in helping people to make money. She's doing it. She's got over 120 people that already working in her as a teachers in her system. She's doing it for 10 years. She knows exactly the processes of what people need and where they stuck as well. And she helping us to build that. So we built a very powerful team, and that's going to be in the next 2 months. We're going to launch after working in about 8 months already about it. So very exciting. All those projects, what they do, that's very important for me to say. They help people to save lots of money. So if you buy in fair supermarkets, you will save anywhere between 10 to 20,000 shekels a year, depend how big is your family and how much you shop. If you be partner in Fun, you save thousands of shekels, could be few thousands, could be much more, depend what is your situation. And all our plan of the Together movement and those businesses that we build is to get people to save money and to have some free time, to stop for a second and ask the most important questions of life. Who am I? Why did I came here? And what I want to do, With sometimes people, until they're getting to the end of their life, to really just sit down quietly and ask those questions. And that's what we want to change.
One of the things about the money, I can give an example or two. It's something that bothers me. As you know, electricity here in Israel a few years ago, they opened it up to competition. Yeah. So on the plan that I have, it's 6.5% overall savings. But then they offer other plans, which are from these hours at night or these hours during the day, you can save 10%. And I'm like, trying to figure out what's more worth it to me, and that information they won't give you. You have to figure that out for yourself. I would love to have a platform which says, here are your bills from the last few months, and it's worthwhile to you to remain with the current plan or to switch to a different plan. The same thing with all these insurance policies. I mean, why is it that once every year or 2 years I have to go through the whole portfolio of what I've got and fix stuff? Why can't it just remain competitive and you don't have to go and maintain it so much? It seems that everything's out of control with these things.
And if you not own it, and if you're not on it, then you don't even notice that you are now with someone that already 20% more expensive and you started 4 years ago. Nobody really, it's all very blurry, you know what I mean? All very blurry. And
I know
wanna
exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and fun saying, and we started fun and we say, if you are a very rich person, then you've got an office of accounting office or something like that, and they work for you, okay? They find for you opportunities, they look at your money all the time. But if not, usually you just send your accountant your bills and everything, because you don't have time now to consult and look on everything. And we want this bot to be, so everyone got like a personal assistant, like they call it the millionaires have, telling you everything and say, oh, look at it. Your insurance is very not up to date. There is new insurances. I can save you like that and can help you, because sometimes I know that I can switch to a better plan, but I don't have the time now for it's 30 shekel a month. I do it, I call now and they tell me you are 43 in the line. So that's what we're doing, we're helping people not just save money, but save time and pain, because all the bureaucracy, sometimes A, it's very confusing, as you say, and B, it's very time consuming, and then people just leave it and paying a lot. And so that's the idea of fun and what we are building.
I think the AI agent makes a lot of sense because people don't know how to do it. And if you have clear instructions and not have to wait on long lines to wait for somebody to speak with, and it actually does it for you, that's very important. How do you choose the initiatives that you're putting into Together Movement? You don't have to go into full details, but what are the main parts of the process that you decide to go into an initiative under that?
It's have to be value based, So there is not a problem. We are not. I say a lot about the kibbutz. So in business, we are not a kibbutz. We're building businesses that making money, but they making money in a very transparent way. Okay, so first supermarket, we say from day one, our margin is 15%. And it's not going to go to 30 or 50 or 80 or 200 as it's today, It's going to stay like that. Maybe if there is some change in pricing and everything and we need to take it to 17 and show the people that it goes up or something like that, that's all right. You know what I mean? But it's have to be full transparency, and it's have to work for the people. And it's have to work for investors as well. Otherwise, it's very hard for you to have business. But as I say, the investors that joining us, they are more social impact investors because they can make better money in a different way. So they need to have the mix of wanting to make money while making good, And so that's the main things that we are checking. And the people that creating the business, the project, they want to bring goodness, because I think we got lost in between making money and making good. And today it's all about making money, and we got to a point that even people's lives doesn't really matter in the name of maximizing profit to the shareholders, People can inject things into our food to make it faster and bigger, and everything is become very crazy, We're working with in hydroponic farming to bring food without any spraying and everything, and you just learn about it and you learn how this industry become. The people we're working with can supply fresh, with not even one poison in it, food, fruit and vegetables to all of Israel when we make it happen, yeah. And yet what we are doing is spraying so much into our land and into the fruit and vegetables and everything. And so it becomes faster and, all our world working that way. And the businesses that we build is bringing back, the value for the customer first. And that's why it all makes sense that the customer is also the investor, because imagine how smart, even business-wise, how smart it is that we are coming in the supermarket with our investors already as shoppers. We don't need to go and compete and spend so much money on promotion and everything, because our investors are also the people that shop in our supermarkets. So even from business-wise, it's very smart. And the only thing that need to really understand how to unlock to make it happen, it's that people come together. Because we used to separate and be suspicious about things like that. But that's what we did in the last 6.5 years. We built trust, we built community, we built place where people feeling that they've got a place, they've got a home, they got people that really want to take care of them and not...
So because it's all about the people, do the ideas that come from people, or does the get a movement come up with the ideas by itself? Who's bringing in the ideas?
No, so the whole idea of the way we build in community, and I learned it from a very smart guy that I really love, and his name is Nir, and he's teaching me a lot about communities, and he say most communities build in a way of build it and they will come. Look, we built for you a beautiful place and you get this and this and they will come. The way to build communities, as he say, is let them build it and they will stay. And so together movement, the people are a big part, not Niv, the head, don't try, because so many years we gave the responsibility for someone. Prime Minister, government, you take the responsibility, you do for us, you know? And what we are bringing in is like...
Not for anybody except for themselves.
Time for taking responsibility and on our life and our kids' life, you know, and build it and not just throw the responsibility to someone to do for us, because we see where that leads us. And so we got a small community, we got huge community, but we got a small community of people that actually working with us very close, and we building it. We putting up the platform for the new world of how people are not just suggesting ideas, but taking responsibility and building it. And it's amazing to see, I have to say. It's a process, but it's amazing to see the results of what's happened when you actually exercise and do this method.
I love it. So you're changing the world.
Absolutely. And it's time for it. You know, everyone feel it, you know.
But it's not you changing the world. You're helping collect all the people who together will change the world.
I bring my gift. My gift is to bring people together, you know. And there is so many already things that happen that I don't even know. I meet people and they say, you know, because of you and your organization, I met this guy and we're doing business together and I met this one, you know. So I just do what I do well, but there is so many things I don't know how to do, and so I couldn't do it myself. So each one bring his gift, and then together it's a very big power that it's very hard to stop.
Thank you, Nir. Keep up the good work. Amazing.
Absolutely. And I'm very happy we met, and you know, looking forward to create great things together as well.
Thank you very much.